This is Mouse_Odious. Like millions of people, his friend watched Technoblade's first ever Hypixel Skyblock video and asked him to make a co-op island where they started playing together. After a couple weeks, Hypixel released the End Island, and Mouse found he really enjoyed farming dragons. A couple months later, Hypixel released the Catacombs dungeons, and once again, Mouse found he really enjoyed those, and he set himself a goal. He wanted to be one of the first ever people to reach Berserker level 50. There was just one issue with this goal. Mouse literally could not stop getting banned. Mouse has a reputation amongst the Skyblock community as the most innocent, legitimate player to ever touch the server, and this reputation was earned through his propensity to cheat quite literally every single part of Skyblock he did not enjoy. As early as the first few months of Skyblock, he was building AFK ghast farms on his island for combat XP, and using newt hats to mine endstone in the end for money. In his own words, he liked what he liked, and took shortcuts on everything else. However, it was not these petty hats that would get Mouse banned at all. In fact, they had made him one of the richest players on the server, and he would regularly livestream and post videos of himself grinding dungeons and dragons. It wasn't until September 2021 when he would be banned for the first time. In the pit of all places. The early Skyblock days were full of pit players, naturally drawn to the game's grindy nature, and Mouse had made friends that would frequent both games. Someday, one of his friends was being hunted down by a high-level player whilst he had a bunch of rare items, and he wanted help. Hearing his friend's call, Mouse logged into his alt account named Mouse sub 55 Terras and started hard b-hopping on the attacker, taking him down. Watchdog wasn't too happy about this, but he stayed unbanned long enough to save a life on all of his friend's pit items, and then just got back to Skyblock cheating as normal for almost an entire year again, until Mouse got bored in June 2022 and decided to join a group of friends who were duplicating several trillions of coins of gemstones and forcing the community into a 3-day Iron Man event. In an event now known as the Great Gemstone Massacre, that we covered extensively in one of the best videos on this channel. Mouse would earn his second ban from contributing towards this event, but what we didn't cover in that video is what he did after. Mouse had multiple dupe stashes across multiple accounts, and he fully intended to treat Skyblock like the sandbox game he wanted it to be. But not before booting up his livestream and hard cheating in dungeons on his friend's account, Lathe, for 8 minutes before someone manually reported him and got him banned on his main. I asked him why he did this, and he just said, because it was really funny. So, you go, girl. Another one of these dupe stash accounts would be banned by one of the other gemstone dupers who had access to the account, who was also bored one day and just kinda decided to loot it to IRL trade the coins and then quit the game, but not before getting the whole account intentionally banned. He did this because he is a cunt. Ban number 5, still in June 2022, came on the account Fiol after transferring duplicated gemstones between profiles using an old exploit, where expensive gemstones could be put inside cheap items and traded without triggering the boosting detection mechanism in the server. The admins had known about this method for a while, and Fiol would be executed for his crimes against the economy. Whilst having a bunch of alt accounts with billions of coins was fun, Mouse still enjoyed Skyblock and still wanted to achieve his dungeons level goal. So, he bought a new account and went to the Hypixel store to give it MVP++, and bought the rank using code HellCastle for 5% off his purchases and any other purchases made on the Hypixel server. I'm also not even kidding, he actually did this on so many accounts. He saved like $20 in total. Whilst he kept playing on his main, another dupe stash 224 Harry was caught in the September 2022 ban wave when stacks of perfect gemstones turned into just single gemstones.
Hey Mouse, it's Duralius. Hytale needs you to reach rank 1 tenacity in the dojo, or else they're gonna cut funding for the game. Do not disappoint us. Good luck.
Mouse proceeds to use fly hacks in the dojo and gets banned. A couple days before his main was due to be unbanned, he hopped on another alt, Daniel Part 911, and did a dupe known as the Profile Swap dupe, though the account was very quickly flagged for duping and boosting and banned. But the admins had not figured out how to patch the dupe, and his main had just gotten unbanned. So, he immediately did the dupe on his main again and built up a stash rather than transferring it out. And, oh, no, wait, he got banned for this again. Actually, this worked so badly that the 2 more of his accounts were security banned. Back in 2022, if you logged into multiple accounts and one of them got banned, every account that shared the same IP would receive an additional security ban, taking out the accounts Awo Marky and Alpha Squid for a month each. With his main once again banned, Mouse creates Stop Wiping Me, buys another rank, and goes about playing as if it's his main for a few weeks, which is to say, hard cheating the whole time. He creates a macro to automatically grind the ghosts at the bottom of the dwarven mines, and a macro to automatically fish. And to keep these things simple, this macro automatically walks the player's character in a lobby to the right place to grind. To make sure he doesn't get banned if a lobby crashes, he also creates a macro to rejoin Skyblock and reactivate all of the macros when it detects the "has joined the lobby" text. Sounds foolproof, right? One day, he turned off his macros and AFK'd to go eat dinner, when at some point, he got kicked to the lobby. This turned both of his macros on at the same time, leading his account to walk to the middle of nowhere in the Crimson Isles and start fishing a wall directly in view of Eelman, who also just happened to be in the lobby live streaming at the same time. He was pretty quickly reported and banned, taking out both Stop Wiping Me and, again, giving Alpha Squid a security ban. Once again, without a main grind account, he joined up with his old friend addicted to CBT, named after his affinity for cognitive behavioral therapies, to legitimately obtain 1.2 trillion coins worth of drill parts on an account they shared. Mouse never figured out how the dupe worked, but the admins did, after banning their account CatGirlRev. December 10, 2022, admins made the anti-cheat much more effective, detecting cheats much quicker, and increased the punishments, which resulted in a massive ban wave, and Mouse was the first to find this out. Throughout all this, another shared dupe stash account, Oliso, got banned because the owner of the account very stupidly tried to IRL trade the coins on the account just straight up in the trade menu without even trying to hide his activities, which worked about as well as you'd expect. Another instance of having to save a friend in the pit with hard b-hopping also cost Mouse the account Stop Wiping Me for the 3rd time. Once more, trying to get back on his feet, he creates the account LittenFan123, which got banned in just a few days for macroing farming levels in the garden. I asked him why he was macroing farming levels in the garden, and he said, because I didn't want to do farming. As soon as LittenFan123 was unbanned, Mouse got it banned again for once again using a cheat that automatically completes dungeon terminals after some anti-cheat changes, and this triggered another security ban for his account BowoLitten. When that security ban expired, BowoLitten got banned again when Litten used a cheat that automatically completes the Emerald Arrow thing at the end of Floor 7. A player named CrimeyBoy shared an account with one of Mouse's friends, Litten, and the two of them also had a bunch of other accounts and dupe stashes shared between a small group of very legit players. One day, CrimeyBoy decided to be an absolute idiot and use an 80 clicks per second autoclicker in a dungeon run, which banned the shared account, as well as Litten's accounts, and every single account Litten had ever touched, and then every account anyone who logged into any of those accounts had ever touched, resulting in the bans of around 40 very rich accounts, many of which were people's mains. Mouse's own main account fell victim to this ban wave, alongside another alt, I Am Working. For once, it wasn't actually Mouse's own fault. The next of Mouse's bans all come from the Hex, as he had heard of a dupe being possible with the Hex, but had absolutely no idea how to make it happen. He hopped on the account Autism Warrior 26 and tried basically everything he can of to make a free item pop out of the Hex, but nothing worked. One of these attempts involved sending a bizarre cell packet whilst in the Hex GUI window, and instead of duplicating the item he put into it, he got Watchdog banned for packet manipulation. When he did figure out the dupe, which could only dupe item modifiers from the bazaar, he used it on the account Mouse Was Legit to apply Chimera 5 to hundreds of Ragnarok axes and sell them for a huge amount of profit before getting caught and banned and wiped. This ban also took out Boolitin and Autism Warrior 26, again due to being logged into the same IP. But now these bans were actually full wipes instead of just security bans, but this wasn't really a big deal to Mouse. Ban number 34 came on the account Necron, which he shared with his friend Wetsy. Wetsy used very poorly configured cheats designed to be used on high ping, which instantly triggered Watchdog and got him banned. This was followed by ban 35, when Mouse decided to pull together multiple of his dupe stashes into the account Mouse on Top to create an account that was #1 net worth on the entire server, albeit mostly in hard to sell expensive items that don't really show up on leaderboard APIs. Hearing of this and getting jealous because he wanted the #1 net worth account, Addicted to CBT reported Mouse on Top for duping and got the account banned, and this also banned his next new main, Mouse Was Legit. The two had a back and forth relationship, but eventually made up after this and are now pretty good friends. The thing about getting banned 37 times is that you eventually get pretty good at avoiding getting banned, and Mouse adopted a new dungeon strategy of doing exactly the same thing he had done for the last 4 years in a final push to achieve his goal of Berserker level 50, a goal he finally achieved in August of 2024. Of course, it wasn't really an impressive feat by then, so he needed a new goal, Catacombs level 60. There was just one problem. He was still Mouse_Odious, so within a few days, he got banned for using the terminal inventory watch cheat. Twice. Hopping on yet another friend's account in what was probably quite a tiring process by now, he once again renamed this account Mouse_Odious and grinded for 11 grueling months, avoiding getting banned whilst still hard cheating as he always did. In fact, Mouse had not completed a single floor 7 terminal legitimately ever, right up until the very last terminal of the very last run before reaching Catacombs level 60. To celebrate, he played more dungeons on his friend's account and got banned for cheating. But after achieving all of his goals, doing everything he wanted and enjoyed in this game, he kinda had nothing left for him anymore and decided it was time to hang up the mouse and retire. He gave his account to any of his friends who wanted to use it for cheats or dupes, and on September of 2025, Mouse would receive his 41st and final ban. Ultimately, Mouse had moved on from Skyblock. He no longer had the infinite free time that comes with being young, and just generally had done everything he wanted to. He moved on to college and worked full-time, and hasn't touched the game since. The funniest part about all of this to me is that if he never cheated and played the game legit, he definitely could have had multiple maxed out accounts with very high net worth, but I guess he decided to play Skyblock like a roguelike. Alright, down. Maybe someday he'll buy multiple Hypixel accounts with code HellCastle and terrorize the servers there. Or maybe this is the last time the Hypixel community hears of Mouse_Odious. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Maybe subscribe or go check out other videos as well that we made. And if you like those too, then subscribe. Yeah, I kind of want to earn it. All right, thank you. See ya. Have a nice day.